Hi everyone. Thank you for being here, spending your time with me to learn the things that HRs need for their everyday, for their day-to-day transactions. I want this to be conversational, and I want you to speak out if ever you have questions or you have curiosity about any of the topics that I'm mentioning here. So feel free to comment, feel free to ask questions, just put them in the chat box. I may not answer them right now, but later I will skim through the comments and try to address whatever it is that you want to know based on our presentation. Also, I want to be transparent with you that this is a recording because I want to share this video to more people and for it to be accessible um, to students, professionals, or whoever that wants this knowledge anytime, anywhere. So, yeah. But you can still ask me questions and please still participate whenever I'm letting you participate so that it won't be a passive thing. So parang masyado na akong maraming sinasabi, no? Before I start and introduce myself, we just have to wait a few minutes for the others. We're gonna have like 3-minute wait for them to come into the Google Meet or the stream. All right. So hang on and see you after 3 minutes. Okay. So, all right, that's 3 minutes. Okay. So, I'm gonna introduce myself to you guys para naman hindi tayo exchange sa isa't isa. I hope you're hearing me well. Can you please comment if you can hear me right now? So I'm just gonna share my screen. I hope you're seeing a pink presentation right now. It reads Elevate Your Career Path. So if you haven't checked the page yet, my page, so it's very evident there that I'm doing HR stuff, and I actually have an HR degree, well, majored in HR. I took up business administration, major in human resource development and management, graduated way back 2019. And now I've put up this business, A1 Training Bell Training and Consultancy. Um, right now it focuses on HR strategies, HR trainings, HR boot camps. So everything HR you're gonna see there in the page. So if you haven't followed it yet, please do follow. All right. So I've been in HR since 2020 pandemic time. So I've handled the employees um quarantines, the quarantine passes for what you call that, for necessary goods. Ano ba yun? Yung term, I forget. But anyway, because I was working in a distributor of food products before when I started. So, ayun. 5 years and still continuing. So, going six na tayo. I graduated with flying colors, but I don't really flaunt this. Yeah, for your benefit so that you know that I'm a person that didn't slack in school. So yun. Yun lang naman ang purpose niya. So I handled full cycle recruitment from um, job posting to selection, onboarding, employee discipline, employee engagement, up to termination. Yeah. I'm a very avid learner. I always update myself sa mga kung ano-anong nangyayari, especially in the workplace, especially in HR. So, alam niyo na nakatutok ako lagi sa RTWPB kung may increase tayo sa minimum wage. Abang-abang lang tayo lagi. So, I specialize in learning and development programs. So, if ever your companies in the future or your companies now need training or development strategies and programs, you can reach out to us. You can message the page or message me directly for your training needs. So, hindi naman tayo agad-agad mag-training yan. We're gonna come up with a training needs assessment before we come up with any training program para, ano siya, culture fit, tailor fit for your organization. So, without further ado, let's go on to discuss about the skills, must have skills for HR professionals. Let me just check if it's the right so yun. Just gonna switch to the other presentation. All right. Okay. Parang hindi siya, okay, wait lang. So, right now, dapat makikita niyo na yung screen ko na must-have skills for HR professionals. Pa-thumbs up naman kung yun ang nakikita niyo ngayon. Must-have skills for HR professionals. So, I'm gonna share with you around 5 skills I use in my everyday HR profession. And hopefully, you'll be able to apply them in your workplace. Ayan. So, HR is beyond hiring and firing. Yung hiring and firing, that's what people coin us to do. Parang yun palagi yung nasa utak ng mga tao na kapag HR ka, okay, pala hire yan siya, pala tanggal yan siya ng employees. But that is just the tip of the iceberg. They're not seeing everything in the background or yung whole picture. That is just a tip of the iceberg. So there is more to it. There is more to HR than just recruitment and then termination. There's a lot in between the two. So let's go on and discuss the first skill, which is the communication skills. So as HR people, hindi naman dapat very chatty tayo, pero bonus kung gagawa natin maging friendly, yun. It's good, but we have to have boundaries. Friendly tayo in a way that they would still respect our authority because tayo as HR, tayo yung nag-execute ng policies natin. So, we can't afford to be too friendly with our staff or our employees. Parang nadideviate na ako, ano. Anyway, so sa verbal communication, yun, kailangan meron tayong relationship with our employees. We have to check on them once in a while para may mga updates tayo firsthand. Hindi lang yung mga sinasabi ng supervisors nyo yung papakinggan nyo, pati din sa mga employees, and you cross-check that with whatever it is na nirereklamo ng supervisor. Para alam mo yung buong storya ng kung ano man yung complaint or incident, possible incidents, based on behavior or complaints coming from them. So yun, kailangan we communicate or nakikipag-usap tayo in a way that they understand in their level. Kung kaya mong makipag-usap sa kanila in their dialect, that is the best way to communicate with employees, especially those in the blue collar level or blue collar employees, yung mga rank and file na mga employees natin, because these people are the ones na highly affected or most affected by change of policies or implementation of policies, pero sila yung hindi masyadong ma-English. Alam mo yun? If ever may i-introduce tayo sa kanila, we have to talk to them in a way na maintindihan nila tayo. So, we have to know kung marami man yung employees nyo that are speaking a dialect. So, hindi naman siya required, but it's preferred or recommended na at least a few words of their dialect you would know para yung communication would be free flowing or magiging mas approachable ka nun. Okay. So if ever may mga explanation na sinasabi yung mga employees natin, kahit pa yung ano siya, lowest rank employee, we should practice active listening. Papatapusin dapat natin lahat ng sinasabi nila. Pero hindi naman to the point na mauubos yung oras mo dun. What I mean in a conversational sense, papatapusin mo kung ano yung gusto nilang sabihin sa'yo, kung ano yung ibig sabihin nila, kung nagrereklamo man sila or nag-justify. So, we do it in a way na we respect them. We let them feel respected. All right. And then we have to improve our written communication skills, or actually we have to have it kahit pa sa start ng career natin as HR or any admin um position, or any position in general. Writing communication skills is very vital. It's very important if you want to have a documented workflow. So, kahit na hindi ka masyadong well-versed sa English, we have modern tools naman na ngayon. We have our AI or artificial intelligence. You just have to learn how to use them para yung outputs niya are fit for your needs. So, usually for personally, I use Gemini for my letters because I found that it's very uh what you call that? It's easy on the eyes, and it has a personal touch that I prefer more than ChatGPT. Iba lang yung purpose ko sa ChatGPT. And pero usually when drafting memos or emails, I go with Gemini. But you can go ahead and use whatever AI tool that you're comfortable with, or kung ano yung prefer nyo, okay lang. Ox lang, hindi naman to paid recommendation. Baka naman, Gemini. Char lang. So yun, let's not have that mindset na AI will replace us, kasi I think AI, personal opinion lang naman. AI is a tool that would help you be efficient in your work. So let's cultivate that kind of mindset because it's existing, and why not reap the benefits of AI? We're gonna have a short tutorial about how to use AI. So just keep uh posted sa page natin. So yung mga HR, we are the heart of the company. Uh we are the listeners of the company. We are the liaison of the employer to the employee, and vice versa, employee to the employer. So tayo yung middle person. So uh it's a point to emphasize that we should be neutral, yes, in terms of decision making, but in terms of relations, employee relations, we should be empathetic. We should empathize towards their struggles, towards whatever they are experiencing, especially when it comes to work related scenarios. So talagang makikinig tayo dapat. Yun yung ideal. And I've come to notice na a lot of psychology graduates now are delving into the HR profession. Parang, yeah, they're interested. I think one of you here are psychology graduates. Recently, my mentor, I mean, my mentee, sorry, si Oki had his oath taking. So, congratulations sa kanya. And he is interested in going into HR profession. So may ano pala kami dito. Uh we have mentorship programs for free for now. Uh wherein I guide yung mentee kung ano yung present struggle niya or whatever it is that he or she wants to learn in terms of the HR profession. So, in-offer ko namang turuan as long as may magko-commit ng time, and then magpapakita ng enthusiasm and, high interest talaga na matuto. So, yun. So, why do we have to be empathetic? Why do we have to always empathize? Kasi tayo yung ano nila, tayo yung dapat sandalan nila, tayo yung dapat tinatakbuhan nila kung may employee complaints. Tanong niyo bakit? Tanong niyo bakit? Kasi kung walang HR, saan sila pupunta? Sa DOLE, gano'n. Hindi, joke lang. Um, so it's better 'no, it's best to have an internal, um, monitoring or an internal gauge of whatever it is na nangyayari sa workplace. Sa inyo pa lang nakikita niyo na yung mga possible attrition, yung mga possible, underperformers. So, kailangan mapagmasid tayo, tapos mag-e-empathize tayo din para nakukuha natin yung talagang ibig sabihin ng mga tao natin. So, minsan nga 'no, kapag nakipag-usap ako sa mga employees, lagi akong natatagalan sa labas. Kasi parang borderline tsismis na yung ginagawa ko. Kasi yun kasi yung ano, yung approachable na way para na-ano nila, nafi-feel nila na valued sila. Yun, we have to let them feel that they are heard. Tapos relationship building na din for them para mas maiintindihan ko ng mas mabilis kung may mga violation man sila kung bakit nila yun ginagawa. So, yun, emotional intelligence. Hindi lang tayo academics na dito. If you're a fresh grad, so you're gonna have to develop your emotional intelligence. Yung patience mo, sobrang grabeng dapat mahaba talaga when it comes to employee conflicts. Kasi sorry, tayo yung ano, punching bag ng corporate when it comes to conflicts kasi tayo yung nagme-mediate between the employee and the employer whenever there are grievances or complaints. So, yun. But we have to be professional din. We have to have limits. So, if ever may mga joke na inappropriate, hindi dapat natin ito-tolerate yon if ever lumalabas man kayo at saka nakikipag-usap sa mga employees. There are tendencies na they'll throw you mga flirty remarks. So, hindi dapat natin yung tinatanggap ng basta-basta. Tayo yung dapat voice out na, "Uy, hindi yan proper," gano'n. So, sometimes employees would hate you, but that's part of the job. Kailangan nating ano, tanggapin na gano'n talaga. We are not in a job to be liked. We are in HR to promote standards, to execute what it is that the policy is saying, to implement whatever it is that management wants to see in his or her employees. So, yun tayo. We are the stiff person, the big person. Ano pang person alam nyo? Anyway, so going to the third skill is we have problem solving skills. So, I have 4 key points here, but I'm gonna relate that sa lesson namin nung grade 4 ata yun. Grade 4 ba ko nun? Tinuruan ako ng teacher na sa scientific method, be smart, sabi niya. So, hindi ko yan palagi nakakalimutan eh. I mean, palagi ko yang naaalala. Sorry, it came out wrong. Palagi ko yung naaalala, be specific. So, we have to specify whatever it is na nangyayari yan yung identify the problem, kung ano ba talaga. Because sometimes we get confused on the cause and the effect. So, nangyari 'to, what is the cause? Dapat ma-identify natin sa cause, hindi sa effect. Tapos, tayo as HR, talaga yung pakiramdam natin dapat matalas kasi bago pa sana mangyari ang mga effect, na-identify na natin ang causes at saka natapalan na sana natin ang mga solutions before pa siya sumabog or before pa siya naging problem or violation. So, yung kung you're gonna be in this profession, so you're gonna develop that kind of skill to identify the things that are off, the things that seem to be not right at the moment, and yung mga pakiramdaman talaga, besh, talagang dapat highest caliber tayo diyan. So, kapag na-identify na natin yung problem, we have to be measurable. What I mean by be measurable is, 'di ba, alam mo ng specifics. So, you have to have data. Like for example, sasabihin mo 'no or iki-claim mo na mataas ang absenteeism rate natin this month. So, you have to know how to answer the question, how did you get the absenteeism rate? So, you have to know how to calculate for that, and you have to um be particular kung ilang hours ba yan na I mean, ilang days ba yan na absence, consecutive ba? Pati rin sa tardiness, ilang minutes, ilang hours ba? Sino ba yung kalimitang nagiging late? Nasa bio ba yan? Nakasulat lang ba yan? So, you have to have the numbers, the data, in order for you to analyze. Kasi ano naman yung i-a-analyze mo? Oo, nakikita mo na, uy, parang late ang mga tao. Pero hindi mo siya measured. Remember, what you do not measure, you cannot manage. So in order for us to manage um a workplace that is compliant, we have to measure whatever it is that they're violating or whatever it is na dapat i-measure. May mga turnover rate, may mga training cost rate, which are, ano naman, you can search naman how to get those rates or percentages. Very powerful naman na yung internet. Anyway, so once we have identified the problem and we analyze whatever it is that is wrong with the organization or that needs help or tweaking, that needs a little bit of fixing, so we go ahead and plan. Um, when we are planning, no, we have to bear in mind that we have to pitch or propose actionable solutions. Yung mga hindi lang general like kailangang i-solve natin yung absenteeism rate. Kailangang i-solve natin yung ano, um, yung tardiness. So paano? Ano yung actionable steps? Ano yung step by step method na gagawin mo para mapunan yung absenteeism rate ninyo? So yan. Like for example, biometrics or may facial recognition biometrics or login. Um, Depende kung ano yung fit sa organization nyo. But there are a lot of ways and you can be creative. You don't have to follow traditional methods always. You can propose new, modern solutions. Siyempre, hindi mo siya gagawin or i-execute without approval. But we can always pitch. Since we are the eyes of the organization, we have the power of suggestion. Yeah. But, okay. So, nakikita ko yung timer parang maubos ko na yung 40 minutes. Anyway, sige. I think this is the third to the last slide. I'm not sure. So, anyway, we when we're planning, no, when we have the actionable steps already, we have to bear in mind that they should be realistic. So, attainable ba yung mga actionable steps mo in a period of 3 months, 6 months, a year? So, usually yung mga hindi talaga masyadong nagiging realistic, yung mga may mga lalaking budget. So, if ever man may proposal ka ng actionable step na may malaking budget, do propose an alternative actionable step that does not require um a lot of budgeting, or that does not require budgeting at all. So, be creative. Kasi para may fallback ka kapag ano, cost sensitive yung proposal mo. Kasi namamatay yung solution mo kapag hindi siya na-approve sa budget. So, yeah, I think you are very creative people when you enter into the HR profession. Uh, Especially that others have studied psychology. So, kaya nyo yan, isipin nyo lang talaga, ipag-pray nyo na may mga alternative non-monetary proposals kayo. Okay. And okay, so you have now your actionable steps, realistic steps. You have to plan it within a timeline. Like in 3 months time dapat na-solve na yung tardiness rate na 50% and above. Dapat ano na lang siya next month, parang half or 25% na lang. And in HR, sinasabi ko sa inyo, the art of follow-up is really kailangan. Like for example, time sensitive reports like by annual performance appraisal. So kailangan kulitin mo talaga yung mga supervisors, yung mga immediate head, promise. Kung hindi mo sila nire-remind, nakakalimutan talaga yan, binabaon talaga yan sa mga kung anong ano nila, anong storage meron sila. Pagkakita mo sa table nila, hindi na yan nasa top. Yung ginagawa ko nga para napapansin yung mga performance appraisals requests. Palagi kong ginagamitan ng pangmalakasang sticky notes na may colors. Folder na may colors. Be creative talaga dito sa HR para ma-achieve mo yung success ng reports mo. So you have to be creative, um you have to play with what you're working. You have to play while you're working. Yon. Kasi kung may inip ka talaga, hindi mo ma-accomplish yung mga goals mo for the year. Ganon. Okay. So, next. This is a very vital skill in HR. This is the foundation of whatever it is that we are doing, whatever it is that we are implementing in the workplace. So, we have to know our laws. We have to know the labor laws. I'm not saying that we have to memorize it, but at least we know how to search for them. So, kapag may mga questions like, oy, probationary employee siya, tapos nag-violate siya ng ganitong kadaming violations, pwede na ba siyang tanggalin? So, yung mga ganun, those are frequently asked questions in the workplace namin. And yes, to answer, yes, pwede siyang tanggalin kapag probationary period pa lang yung employee. Kasi that is a testing time, or that is when you are observing your employee to decide if he is going to undergo regularization or hindi. Kasi kung ma-regular yan, ang benefits, you will be entitled to benefits, whatever benefits that a regular employee should be receiving. Tapos, mas, ano na, what you call that, mas mahirap na silang tanggalin. Kasi may due process na dapat. I mean, may due process naman din yung probationary employee. Pero, mas maraming steps kung regular employee na siya tapos gusto mo siyang tanggalin. So, yun. And of course, the attachment kapag ano na, kapag may ilang months in na, kapag more than 6 months na yung isang employee, syempre attached ka na or attached na yung office sa presence niya, ganyan. So, these are some points that we have to talaga tandaan. Memorize kung kaya. Yung wage, especially minimum wage. Kasi itong mga minimum wage, palagi silang nag-update. So, if you haven't yet followed RTWPB or the Regional Tripartite Productivity Wage Board of your region, go ahead and follow them. Kung kaya mo ngayong i-follow sa Facebook, follow mo na para hindi mo ma-miss kung may mga increase sa minimum wage. Kasi kapag may increase sa minimum wage, may increase yan sa SSS contribution, PhilHealth contribution, Pag-ibig contribution. Depende sa policy nyo sa Pag-ibig kung ilan ba yung kino-contribute. Anyway, so we have to be familiar. If not, kung kaya nga i-memorize natin kung ano yung mga dapat i-consider sa mga wages, mga allowances ng mga tao ninyo. Kasi this is the motivation of your employees, yung pay nila. Kapag may mali sa pay, palagi yung magkaka-conflict, palagi yung may magrereklamo sa'yo. Ayoko naman na HR ka tapos palagi may nagrereklamo. So, 'di ba kung may magreklamo na once, gawan mo na ng paraan para magka-system ka or para may double checking ka sa work para hindi sila complain ng complain sa'yo. Kasi kung palaging may adjustment, for example, sa payroll, uulitin at uulitin mo din. Nakakapagod on your part at saka sa kanila. So, just be open and be curious about kung may mga nababasa kayong mga wage-related or compensation-related na posts, i-click nyo na, basahin nyo, tapos learn how to search legal basis. Palagi mong tatandaan if ever you are in doubt sa mga legal things in your workplace, kung i-apply ba to, kung may mga dapat bang gawin, or hindi dapat ibigay, dapat ibigay. Yan. So we have to be, fast sa mga updates. And then we have to know this by heart. Kasi kahit na kumakain ka lang sa labas, nagsasnack ka lang yan, tatanungin ka, Ma'am, holiday ba bukas? Ma'am, 30% ba bukas? Ma'am, double pay ba bukas? Mga ganun. Grabe talaga mga tanong nila, parang quiz bee lagi sa HR. Sa working hours naman, this may vary kung ano yung industry nyo, but ultimately, you will be following Philippine labor laws on overtime pay, on night differential. So, yung mga yan, they have corresponding percentages. Tapos, they will vary or have different rates whenever special holiday, rest day, regular holiday. So, you have to look that up and make sure kung ano ba yung applicable diyan. Kasi for example sa amin 'no, I work in a, um, paano ba hindi magiging paano ba hindi paano ba hindi ma-reveal? So, kami may shifting kami, we have 3 shift kasi 24 hours yung establishment. Tapos yung days off ng mga tao are not only on Sundays. So their rest day does not fall on Sundays. So that's why hindi ko present dito kung how you are gonna treat your working hours at saka yung overtime pays kasi we are different in terms of working days. Yeah, working days. So baka malito kayo kasi kung so yun. So anyway, yun. Nagka-advertisement tuloy tayo kasi may ano dito, may schedule ng garbage truck. So going back, yung mga leave entitlements, kung hindi nyo alam yung SIL, yung Service Incentive Leave, so look that up. It also has a legal basis. Anything na, oh, so sorry, nakamute pala ako kanina. So, yung SIL, as mentioned, nung naka-off yung mic ko, service incentive leave that has a legal basis. So anything na ipopost nyo or anything na i-implement nyo, please do make sure to put there your legal basis. Kung saan mo ba binase to. Kasi tayong mga HR, we don't make the laws. We follow them, we implement them, but we don't make them. So we have to always pin in our memos, in our communication na this is the legal basis. This is why I'm doing this. This is why I'm serving you this memo. This is why this is considered a violation. This is based on the policy, on the Philippine law, on DOLE Memorandum Circular, SSS Memorandum Circular. So, yun. Kasi mas, ano yung case mo, mas pulido when you are introducing anything new, most especially to your employees. So always remember to put your legal basis. Again, you don't have to memorize them, you just have to know how to search for them. Be sure na legit yung mga sources ninyo. Wag kayong mag-AI lang. Kung mag-AI kayo, please double check, please review before you send out anything that is AI generated. Okay? So, employment contracts, you may have employment contracts existing naman in your organization. So, just review them kung ano siya, um, kung compliant siya with our laws in the Philippines. Kasi, if you have statutes there or paragraphs na taliwas sa batas or not um, congruent with our Philippine laws, they will be void or voidable. Hindi sila magiging applicable sa ano, in the legal paradigm. So, if ever, for example, wag naman sana, ma-complain kayo sa DOLE, tapos pinakita yung contract nyo, tapos sinabi doon na 7 days work without rest and without overtime pay, ganon. So, violation yan kasi we are entitled to at least one rest day. Tapos, if we will work on the rest day, we are entitled for a premium pay. So, yung mga ganon, i-search mo nyo yan. Because it's very important. Alright. Um, Sa termination procedures, we should always remember the twin notice rule. Hindi tayo pwedeng mag-let go ng employee ng what you call that, bigla-biglaan. So, we have to first notify this employee of his or her violation and let her have a chance let him or her have a chance to explain through an explanation letter, and he or she is entitled to appear in an administrative hearing para maano nyo, ma-verify nyo kung ano talaga yung reasons ng violation niya, and it's his right. He he can waive his right, but it should be offered or it should be given to him. Talagang dapat may i-schedule na admin hearing. Yun. So, itong due process, this is broad. Yung due process is a general term for dapat mabigay mo lahat ng rights na entitled si employee. As mentioned kanina, yung notice to explain and then the administrative hearing. Tapos yung right niya to be informed kung ano yung violate niya. So yung mga ganun. We should be very particular. Sa labor laws, we'll be having a separate webinar for this na mas technical siya. And I'll be discussing in depth yung etong mga wage and compensation, working hours, employment contracts, ano ba yung mga dapat nandun. Yan. Okay. So, going back, yung separation pay, frequently asked question to sa akin sa lahat ng pinagtrabahuan ko. Ma'am, kapag 10 years ka na sa company tapos mag-resign ka, may separation pay ka ba? Ano sa tingin nyo? Ano yung first thing na naiisip nyo? Kapag 10 years, talaga bang entitled si employee na mag-claim ng separation pay? Sige nga, type nyo nga dun sa comment section. Kung ano ba yung feeling nyo lang naman. It's okay, you can make mistakes here. We will not take that against you. So, da-da-da-da, the answer is no. So, let me explain. There are two types of termination, the voluntary and involuntary termination. So, yung voluntary termination, this is based on the decision of the employee himself na hindi siya finorce or hindi siya sinuggestan na mag-resign. Talagang kusa niya tong binigay sa immediate head na yung resignation letter niya o sinabi sa'yo na magre-resign siya in his own will and his volition. Yan. So, kapag naman involuntary termination, yun yung because of closure of business, because of bankruptcy, because of redundancy. Hindi ko memorize yun, pero andyan yung sa labor law. But these are the common reasons. Tawag niyan. So, voluntary resignation, kapag nagre-resign siya, where does this fall? Siyempre, 'di ba? Sa voluntary termination. So, kapag voluntary termination, I repeat, they are not entitled for separation pay unless may condition. Unless may collective bargaining agreement or CBA yung company nyo na kahit voluntary resignation, may separation pay pa din. So, yes, i-look up nyo yan, yung CBA or collective bargaining agreements. Basically, to give you an idea on collective bargaining agreements, these are agreements na made between the labor and the management, which are not present in any laws or uh, DOLE Memorandum Circular whatsoever. So, talagang CBAs are unique to each corporation na may usually kapag may union or unionized yung corporation, may CBA sila. So, ano yung ah, nangyayari kung may CBA, no? So, employees can demand more than what is required of the law. Kasi for example, kung minimum wage ganito, tapos sinabi sa CBA that the compensation of the all the employees should be uh plus 50 pesos of the minimum wage. So you can actually agree on anything na um tawag niyan, basta basta maa-approve ng management ng union. Anyway, baka mataliwas tayo sa sa topic. Um sa mga going back sa termination, kapag nagse-serve ako minsan ng termination letter, hindi nila pinipirmahan. So ano gagawin? Kasi dapat received 'yan eh, 'di ba? So there is this legal way to do it. This is the registered mail service through registered mail. So kung hindi siya mag-sign no, kailangan magpa-witness ka ng dalawang employees or any actually kahit hindi niyo employee. Pero mas maganda kung employees, two witnesses tapos lalagyan mo ng remark na did not receive. Tapos yung ginagawa ko, actually pwede na yan. But I want to be sure, pinapadala ko talaga siya sa address ng employee kasi para may record na na-receive niya through registered mail. Kahit hindi niya pinirmahan, it is um, understood as received by the law. So, ganun siya. Ganun yung ginagawa. Pero medyo, ano na yan, advanced knowledge yun. Anyway. So, we come to is this the last? Yeah. We come to our last skill, the technological proficiency, or I coined this as techie/HR skill, techie/AI skills, artificial intelligence. So, in HR, we are, tawag niyan, we are pro efficiency, pro productivity. So, we actually encourage or we should be adaptive to whatever it is na method na makakapagpabilis ng processes nyo sa office. But I'm not imposing anything, ha? I'm just saying na you can always propose. You can always pitch that to the management. I mean, who doesn't want faster work, diba? Who doesn't want more work done in less time, diba? Okay. So, I'm just gonna introduce you these terms, the HRIS, the Human Resource Information System. So, usually companies who have a large number of employees, or what do you call them again? Big companies, large or big companies, like I think more than 100 employees. Depende sa management. Kasi meron naman iba na kahit maliit lang sila, may HRIS sila. Depende sa owner kung may budget. So, yung Human Resource Information System or HRIS, dati, yung HRIS na ginamit ko, lahat nandun na, jam-pack nandun na talaga. Like, yung mga holidays, naka-set na agad, hindi mo na kailangang hindi mo na kailangang i-manual na ilagay yung mga holidays, nandun na sila agad. Basta yung regular holidays yon. Yung iba, inaano pa yon ng devs, ng developer, sorry. And then, yung time, yung overtime, hindi ka na magka-calculate, siya na talaga lahat. Siya na yung gagawa nun. I-input mo lang yung time, i-aano mo lang from the biometric. Iko-compare. And then, ina-upload yun yung biometric dyan sa HRIS namin. And then, yung leaves, you can file your leaves online, tapos, maano na, tawag yan, mai-input na dun sa HRIS in real time. So, it's very nice to have an HRIS, but HRIS are not cheap. So, paid yung mga yan. That's why if ever you are in a startup business or in a small to medium enterprise, SME, lalo na kung nasa micro business ka, wala talagang HRIS yan. But you can develop your manual human resource information system or at least an HR database na lahat ng information ng employees nyo, the rank, the designation, the compensation, the department, tapos yung personal information, you can do that naman. I did that also sa mga medium enterprise companies that I've worked with. Ito namang ATS, this is a AI-related HR thing, applicant tracking system. So, this uses AI para matrack yung application statuses ng applicants. Kung ano ba siya, pumasa ba siya sa first screening, second screening, blah, 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 kung for interview na ba siya. So, for scheduling for interview, tapos na ba siyang mag-interview, tapos yung rating niya, yung mga ganyan. So, may mga applicant tracking system na ngayon, yung mga job board, may mga ATS na yung mga paid or premium LinkedIn, premium Indeed, mga premium. Yan. So, may bayad pa rin. Yun. So, basically, yung ATS din, it makes it easier for the HR end kasi maglalagay ka lang ng qualifications for your desired applicant. Tapos, it will read yung mga qualifications and everything that is placed sa niya, especially if may keywords sa resume niya. So, matatag na doon agad kung qualified ba o hindi. Hindi na yan ni AI, i-recommend pa na i-review mo or hindi na yan i-recommend for second screening if in the first screening pa lang yung keywords na linagay mo wala sa resume niya. So, ganun yung ATS. Yung performance management platforms, minsan nakatay na to sa HRIS. So, yung mga performance appraisal or evaluation na ginagawa sa first month, third month, and then fifth month. So, na siya kung satisfactory performance or unsatisfactory performance ba ang isang empleyado sa inyo. Binibilisan ko ang salita ko kasi mag-1 hour na tayo pala. Anyway, sa HRIS din, minsan may data analytics and report na kasi, di ba, yung timekeeping nyo or time tracking nyo, nandun na sa HRIS. So, it detects kung ilang beses bang nag-absent or nalilate yung isang empleyado. So, may, na siya, nakakapag-come up na siya ng analytics mag-isa on his own. But again, as I've said, even though wala tayong HRIS, we can always devise or we can always create our own data analytics and reporting tools. Basta alam mo lang how it works, you can do it. You can create something that is similar to an HRIS. Hindi lang siya automatic. Lahat nandito lang. So, aminin nyo, yung mga HR, mga bright side talaga yan. Mga bright. Hindi ka magiging effective na HR kung hindi ka bright. Di ba? Sige nga, type in bright kung nakikinig pa kayo. Ano ba spelling ng bright? May silent pa naman yan. So, okay, the digital communication and collaboration platforms, these are, parang, high-pitch ako doon These are the productivity websites or tools like, for example, Trello, Slack, Workday, Monday.com. These are websites na makakapag-collaborate ang isa't isa or every employee. Tapos, madidivide yung mga chats into projects, yung progress, mame-measure. Depende kung anong collaboration platform yung meron or ginagamit ng company niyo. Usually, napapansin ko, yung mga collaboration platform, ginagamit siya kapag may international clients kayo. Kapag local naman, messenger lang, Gina yan. Or di kaya Viber, oo, mga messaging app pwede na kung local. Depende lang sa ano sa gusto ng management nyo. So, okay. We come to the summary of the skills that I've discussed. So, by far, what do you think are the skills na kailangan mo pang i-improve as a human resource professional? Is it your communication skills? Kailangan mo pa bang maging clear? And then, kailangan mo bang mag-practice ng written communication? Uh, do you need to practice your empathy? Do you need to practice your emotional intelligence na maging neutral ka, hindi ka maging bias sa mga kung ano-anong sinasabi ng mga empleyado at supervisors sa'yo? Kailangan mo ba ng improvement sa problem-solving skills mo? Kapag may problem, nagpapanik ka ba? Same, same. Papanik ako. Pero hindi ko lang pinapakita. Yun. Kailangan magaling kang magtago kung napapanik ka. Huwag kang ano. Kasi dapat posture lagi, girl. Dapat high heads lagi. Pag HR. Dapat magaling tayong mag-pretend na okay tayo. 'Di ba? Tama? Anyway. Kailangan mo ba ng help sa legal knowledge mo? Do you think that you need more practice or more exposure to legal parlance? So, type mo dyan. Type mo sa ano, chat. Or are you a non-tech savvy HR? So, yeah, wala naman ditong nakakaangat na skill because these are all interconnected with each other. So it's best to have knowledge or practice in all of the aspects, in all of the skills. But we are all a work in progress. Minsan, mataas yung communication skills natin. Minsan naman, we need more practice in technology. Yun. So, alright. If you have any questions, you can chat them on our chat box or kung saan man kayo nanonood para later I can view them and I can answer them for you. If ever you have clarifications sa mga diniscuss natin or do you have HR challenges in your workplace, so you can actually DM me. Yes, yun pala. I'm inviting you all kung if you're interested to be a mentee, be my mentee. Yun. 30 minutes to 1 hour lang naman yung meetings ko and then I'm gonna help you with your HR projects. So, yun lang. Tapos for free siya for now. So, grab mo na habang free pa, habang hindi pa ako nagiging mapresyo. Anyway, because it's my advocacy to help, um, especially fresh graduates, how to launch their HR career, ganon. And give them the tools na ginamit ko din. Para, it saves you a lot of time, a lot of confusion, a lot of anxiety. Kapag may someone ka na pinapagtanungan kung ano yung mga hindi mo alam. Lalo na sa HR talaga kasi we are very legal based. Okay. So, natungtungan na pala natin yung 1 hour. 1 hour and 5 minutes na tayo. So, this is my last slide. I know that you guys joined this webinar because you wanted to get a free e-certificate. So, I want to thank you for attending and I'm gonna share the link for the free e-certificate. So for you to get the free e-certificate, you have to post a review on my page sa A1 training, ah, para i-upload nyo i-upload nyo siya sa form. Yan. So, go ahead and search um my page sa Facebook, A1 Training Bell Leyte. Um, so I think like by now I'm gonna put that on the chat box kasi andito naman din ako sa meeting kahit hindi ako live na nagsasalita. I'm with you. I'm with you here. Yeah, A1 training. So, yeah, to give everyone the time to fill out their evaluation form. I'm gonna go ahead and read the questions now. Uh, please, tawag yan, i-screenshot mo nyo muna yung scan me or yung QR code because I'm gonna end this video para makapag-live Q&A sesh tayo. Para naman makatulog na kayo mamaya kung ano bang mga questions nyo about HR. Mm-mm. If ever you have questions na hindi ko masagot dito sa session, you can always ask me. Just message sa sa page. For free yan. Walang kaso dyan. I mean, I'll answer you naman in the best of my knowledge. So, I'm gonna conclude na this presentation. I hope nakapag-fill out na kayo ng forms. So, please be, patient. If ever kasi mag 30 plus yung attendees natin today, 30, nakalimit sa 30 lang kasi yung free e-cert for the day. So, yung next 30 plus participants will be receiving their free e-certificate the following day. So, parang the more participants, the longer it is to accomplish yung pag-send ng free e-cert nyo. So, please give the, the Chrome extension time para ma-send sa inyo yung certificate. If ever hindi nyo ma-receive yung certificate, just message the page or my account, Gwyneth Balisiges, para ma-solve natin yan. Mabigyan kayo ng certificate nyo. Okay, kapag mag-send kayo na hindi nyo na-receive, please include there kung when kayo nag-webinar and then yung full name nyo, kung may extensions kayo, kung CHRA din kayo, CHRP kayo, para malagay natin sa certificate, 'di ba? Para may bragging rights. Anyway, so I enjoyed talking to you about the must-have skills for HR professionals. I hope that you learned um today. So, if you haven't yet filled out the form, so you can put there sa review kung ano yung takeaway nyo, ano yung pinaka natandaan nyo, ano yung feeling nyo, pinaka importanteng natutunan nyo for today's session. So, ilagay nyo yes, sa Facebook page review section. Tapos, i-screenshot nyo yon tapos i-upload nyo sa evaluation form to get your free e-certificate. So again, thank you so much for spending your time, especially this holiday. Yes, this is HR Gwen, and see you next time.